Welcome back. All right, so starting with news of the day that's kind of big news locally. I don't know how big it's playing elsewhere around the hockey world at all, but locally, the apparent firing of Rachel Dory is big news in that she was brought into the organization 8 months ago. She was added to the coaching staff 2 weeks ago. Now, I'm going to say there have been people asking why, when women have been getting hired as assistant GM, as assistant coach, I don't report on that in all the videos because it's an assistant GM and it's an assistant coach, and I don't report on them in general. And I feel that that's me treating them equally. That okay, so they hired somebody. It's a woman who's assistant general manager, assistant coach. The first couple of times, sure, I threw that in a news video, but now I don't think that's as big of a news story. I think, okay, so they hired that person. Great. Hope they do a good job. And that's where I leave it. That's it. That's where I leave it. I don't overanalyze. I don't get mad. I don't assume that the person's not qualified. I just say, okay, so that's where they're going. So when Rachel Dory was added to the coaching staff for the Canucks 2 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, I didn't mention it in a news video. I just looked at that and said, all right, fine. Rachel's somebody who on Twitter has irritated Devils fans, comes to mind. And definitely there have been times where she has been very outspoken on Twitter, and there are people who won't like that, right? Now, what Rick Dollywall's reporting today is that he heard about her no longer being with the organization on Wednesday, did not report it. And that's the thing. There have been times where I've had things leaked to me. Sometimes it's via a subscriber who might work for a team. Sometimes it's from somebody who might know somebody who's with the team. Sometimes it's from somebody who's maybe, directly involved. But either way, I will make that decision of I'm not reporting. And that's 99 times out of 100, I'm not reporting it. But Rachel being let go, she deletes all of her tweets on Twitter, which I think is part of the reason why there's a speculation about whether or not something she said on social media got her in trouble. I'm also hearing a lot of, well, she's 25, she's young, and she is. And I can't imagine at age 25 having that kind of responsibility and being part of an NHL organization. I mean, it would be exciting, it would be fun, but the speculation's kind of crazy right now. So what Rick Dollywell's reporting as well is that he's got a good idea of why she's no longer with the organization, and that all the salacious rumors and gossip that are out there, no, it's not for something she said about Luke Hughes, and apparently this had nothing to do with Francesco Aquilini, because that immediately was something that came out. And I looked at that, I did whatever research I could, knowing as little as we do about the situation, and I couldn't see anything where she had publicly slammed the organization or said anything about Francesco and everything that's going on there. I understand, because that was one of my first thoughts too, was I wonder if something was said behind closed doors or something maybe was said publicly towards the owner, this kind of thing. But apparently that's not the case. So while people are flying off, as people are wont to do, it would appear that it was the team decided that she was no longer going to be employed there, and she's out. She has refused comment. She was asked by Daily Faceoff via Frank Saravelli, and she has not made any comment, which again is her right. This is something that she doesn't have to talk about. Certainly doesn't have to talk about, but it does make you wonder for her. And again, I understand she's young, but this is quite the setback, because she was with the New Jersey organization, now with Vancouver. She's done video coaching stuff. She works in analytics, but now that's two organizations. So, we'll see. But again, as I said, I don't think it's a big deal when women are hired or fired necessarily. The reason that it's in this video is because it's just causing a big stir, and it feels like there's this mystery that I'm getting the feeling that once we hear what the actual reason is, that there's going to be people who roll their eyes and say, no, that's not what it is, because they've already decided what it is. So that's how that works, right? I'm sure that if I just stopped making videos tomorrow, there would be a lot of speculation as to what had happened and what fell apart and what, be a lot of talk. But anyways, there you go. We'll see if anything else comes out about that and whatnot. But I will say that the article that was written that said it was a diversity beacon. People write articles with headlines like that for clicks, and so if you promote that by being angry about it and saying I'm angry that this is, then you're just bringing more attention to the article and you're getting them more clicks. The Canucks are an organization that have hired numerous women to work within their organization. Again, I didn't report on all of them because I don't report on assistant GMs and assistant coaches being hired. because again, it can get to be quite a few. And again, I didn't feel like I should have to make an exception. I talked about it a couple of times when assistant GMs were hired that happened to be women, and I think, you know what, it's fine. It's not necessarily such a huge deal at this point, and it shouldn't be. It should just be treated like they hired this person. Cool, we'll see how it works out. But we will see what happens with this story, and whether or not she comes out publicly and says anything, whether the team comes out and says anything. They certainly don't have to. She doesn't have to either. But we'll see. So, getting back into the hockey side of the news. Josh Anderson returns after missing the start of camp. I don't know how fast he's going to be back into action, but Suzuki and Bowie were also in non-contact jerseys at practice. So for Montreal, looks like they're getting healthier. The Tampa Bay Lightning, nice gesture here. They donate $2 million for Hurricane Ian relief. Hurricane Ian did a lot of damage in Florida. Lot of storm surge, a lot of damage from that. Is the storm surge that does the majority of the damage. And so $2 million is a nice starting point. Hopefully we see a lot of fundraisers and things going on over the next while here for people in Florida affected by it. So if you've been affected by Hurricane Ian, you know, hopefully you're safe. Hopefully your home is intact. You've got power and everything. And hopefully this is the worst of it, and that the hurricanes stay away for a while. And this is right after, of course, the remnants of Hurricane Fiona did all that damage in eastern Canada. So that's about enough. That's enough for hurricane season. We'll just leave that be, unless you're the Carolina Hurricanes, in which case your season is just about to begin. That's the only hurricane I want to be reporting on from here going forward. I see I say hurricane going forward. It makes it sound like a single player from the team. I only want to talk about Svechnikov. I don't care about the rest of them. Anyways, kidding. Totally kidding. No, stupid hockey guy only likes Svechnikov. Anyways, he's lying. He hates Svechnikov. That's why he said Svechnikov's name. He underestimates him all the time. Stupid hockey guy. So, Tampa Bay, good on you, $2 million. Let's see if other teams match that total. That's what I'd like to see. Or if we see 50-50 draws around the league where that money's going towards hurricane relief. And I'm imagining some of that's already going on. Philadelphia, good news for Flyers fans. Atkinson, Farabee, Hart, all at practice, all wearing non-contact jerseys. So that means they're a little ways away from returning, but that's good news. Farabee especially is such a key player. And of course with Atkinson, with Tortorella behind the bench, we'll see how that relationship goes. And so, yeah, Anisimov is out with a lower body injury. The alarming side for Anisimov is he, of course, is on a tryout. So he needs to make the team, and if he's out with an injury, it makes it more difficult for him to make the team and to get an actual contract. Result of last night's game for Dallas. Ty Dellandrea left the game early, and it turns out he has a broken finger. He's expected to be out for 2 weeks for Dallas. Now, normally I would look at that and go, well, that's fine. But this is a team that still does not have Robertson. So with the absence of Robertson, you're looking for other players to step up and maybe fill that void. Dellandrea, good young player. Maybe he could have been one of those guys stepping in to fill in, but 2 weeks with a broken finger means opening night he'll miss, but we'll see how quickly he comes back after that. Big news for Seattle fans, not just having a really good preseason, which they are, but the mascot reveal for Seattle is going to be tomorrow. The Seattle Kraken will finally know what their Kraken mascot's going to look like. We've certainly seen some mockery of the Seattle Kraken look in that whenever I saw this in Vancouver last night. I've seen this with Vegas too, where they'll have like mascot versus mascot and they just stick tentacles all over somebody and make them look like a squid. And hopefully that's not what their mascot is. I mean, I would laugh pretty hard if it was just a dude that came out just with like tentacles taped randomly to their body and a squid head. But hopefully that's not what it is. So the mascot reveal is tomorrow. I will definitely be doing a video when that takes place. Yvonne and I are debating about whether or not to do a live stream later on today. I may even do that during a game. So while I'd be, surfing around watching TV, audio off, no video of the game on the live stream, of course. It might be one chance for me to do a live stream, talk to all you fine people while I'm watching a game, because I don't have to take notes because it's preseason. So anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.